Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. All right, so I'm almost done replacing the bearings. I did a couple of the videos showing how we take the bearing off, put it back on. You can check those out. Now I'm doing wheel seals. These were, I don't know if they were leaking. There was a bunch of dried oil and crud that had run down the front of this. It wasn't getting all over the brakes, so it's not like it was leaking a ton, but this was definitely nasty in through here. So, you know, while I have them out, we'll do wheel seals. They go in. I did a video on how to pull these out. I use an internal puller to yank them out. So this is my nice new one. They say to put silicone on here, RTV, and then drive it in. So let me do that. Okay, I put a seal of RTV silicone on here. I cleaned out the hole earlier. So the bearing surface here is clean and the seal surface there is clean. I cleaned it with brake cleaner and a rag. So that's good to go. Just gonna get it started in the hole here. Get it nice and square. Good. And I've been waiting on these. I got a set of bearing and race drivers and seal drivers. You know, you can get a kit of these. This was 30 bucks, 35 bucks off of eBay. And man, it made a huge difference. I've been getting by with using sections of pipe, sockets, what have you. But for these, I wanted to have something that would actually fit properly because I have to go inside of the hole here. I didn't want to be messing around with sections of pipe and socket and all that. So I did the other side. This worked great. So I'm going to start hammering it in. Just tap it in gently till it bottoms out. Okay, I got the seal driven in. It's bottomed out nicely. I wiped off the excess silicone that squeezes out, so we got a nice good seal there. I got bearing grease on the axle flange, or on the bearing flange rather, to ease the insertion. It's not a hard fit, but you know, they tell you to put grease on it, and I got a little bit of extra grease to put on the seal opening. They tell you to put grease on that, so that's good. This surface, nothing goes on it. This is where the bearing rides, right here, and it bottoms out against that. So they have you put a little grease, or not grease, but gear oil on the splines. I'll do that. I got the splines all nice and cleaned off. I just put a little bit over the top, kind of let them run down a little. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to insert the axle into the housing and then I'll drive the bearings in. I'll show you that. Be right back. All right, the axle started to go in. You got to be careful not to let it drag along the seal that we just put in. Kind of lift it, and then when it gets down into the differential, you just kind of tilt it up and you feel around till you get it into the differential opening, and then you'll feel the splines engage. So now you can see I don't have the bearing quite in there, so you gotta kind of push it into place. All right, so now it's up against there, and then I'm going to use my slide hammer with this attachment and just go the other way. You could probably use a mallet or something, but I like this because it kind of lines itself up centered over the axle, and you just drive it in. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I got the axle tapped in. Again, it doesn't take a lot. It just light taps to kind of drive the bearing into the hole there. And then there's like these carriage bolt things that go into the back of the axle through the brake backing plate, and they come out. Let's see if you can see them here. There's 4 of them. There we go. So these 4 bolts, you use this hole to access them, and you put the nuts on, and it holds the bearing retainer onto the brake backing plate, which holds the whole thing together onto the axle. And I just tighten them like I would lug nuts. I go here, across, 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 and then I go back around again, torque them to 50 pounds. And that's all there is to it. So if you need to change out your axle seals or bearings on this is a 66 GM 10 bolt. I'm sure there's a million other videos on how to do it, but that's my experience with it. And while I was in here, I did the drum brakes and got new hardware. So those are good to go. All right. Hopefully we'll be able to drive it soon. All right. Take care. Bye.